You ever feel like you're stuck? Like you're running as hard as you can, but the scenery never changes? You wake up, you grind, you push, you hustle, and somehow you're still standing in the same place, staring at the same walls, fighting the same battles. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're trapped by an invisible force, a set of limits you never chose but somehow accepted. Limits that were handed to you by your environment, your past failures, your fears. But today that ends. Today you break through. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today, right now. Because the truth is, if you want a new life, if you want a new outcome, you've got to start with a new mindset. Change your story, change your life. I'll never forget one of the darkest seasons of my life. I was 17 years old, living in a tiny apartment, washing my dishes in the bathtub because I couldn't even afford to fix a broken sink. I remember sitting there on the floor one night, eating ramen noodles, feeling like a total failure. And there was a voice in my head saying, "You're stuck. You're done. This is your life." But then something else inside me, something deeper, something primal, roared up and said, "No. This is not how it ends. This is how it begins." That night I made a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a dream, a real decision. I decided to break through. See, we all hit ceilings, but the ceilings aren't real. They're made of fear, doubt, hesitation, and the second you decide that nothing is going to stop you, you realize the ceiling was never there at all. The cage? It's made of paper. And guess what? You are a raging fire. Paper can't hold fire. You were born to burn through your limits. Practical strategies. Now let's talk about how to do it. Because motivation without a strategy is a waste. We need fuel, but we also need a map. Step 1. Get leverage on yourself. Listen, if you're not taking action, it's because you haven't made it a must. We all have shoulds. I should lose weight. I should start a business. I should work on my relationships. But shoulds don't change your life. Must change your life. When something becomes an absolute must, your brain finds a way. You unleash resources inside yourself you didn't even know existed. You tap into strength you forgot you had. You turn problems into fuel. So ask yourself right now, what pain am I willing to endure to get my dream? What will it cost me if I don't change? Pain is a powerful motivator. Use it. Step 2. Destroy the old story. If you're not where you want to be, it's because you're living inside an old story. A story that says you're not enough. A story that says success is for other people. A story that says you're too young, too old, too broke, too broken. Rip that story. Shreds. Write a new one. A story where you're the hero. A story where you fall 7 times and get up 8. A story where every failure is a stepping stone, not a tombstone. You already have the power inside you. It's time to unleash it. Step 3. Take massive, relentless, explosive action. Not someday. Not when it's convenient. Not when you feel ready. No. When you move, when you act, when you fight through the fear, you send a signal to your brain. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm creating. Momentum is everything. Tiny steps turn into massive shifts. One phone call, one workout, one decision, one act of courage. It starts the avalanche. And once that avalanche starts rolling, nothing can stop it. Step 4. Condition your mind every single day. Listen, success isn't an event. It's a habit. Winners don't wait to feel motivated. They create their own motivation. Every morning, you've got to prime your mind like a champion primes their body. You've got to flood yourself with power, gratitude, focus, and certainty. Every day you don't do this, you leave the door open for fear, doubt, and procrastination to slip in. Guard your mind like a fortress. Feed it with power. Feed it with purpose. Feed it with unstoppable vision. Step 5. Raise your standards forever. You want to know the difference between people who live an extraordinary life and those who don't? It's not luck. It's not money. It's not talent. It's standards. Winners demand more from themselves than anyone else could ever expect. They refuse to settle for good enough. They're obsessed with excellence. And the good news? Standards are a choice. Right now you can decide. I will not live in mediocrity. I will not let fear win. I will live with passion, with purpose, with power. And once you make that choice, once you truly decide, everything changes. Listen to me right now. Lean in. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to wake you up. To tear down the prison walls you didn't even realize you were living inside. To remind you that inside your chest beats the heart of a warrior, a creator, a force of nature.